This little kid is just child is just looking at me. I think it's because I know it's because I'm being too loud, so I have to lower my tone. Anyways, I'm gonna be sewing my patches onto my new bikini, and we've got the smiley face ones. So we're gonna sew on these ones. I'm really excited about it. And then we also have the patches on the bikini bottoms, which we'll do, but we're using this see-through thread. And then I will show you where I'm crocheting today, where I'm my outing for today.
I think Mexico. Our mystery state was once a part of Mexico. Many native tribes, including the Pueblo and Apache, lived on our state's land before Spanish explorers arrived in the 1500s.
Them Spaniards.
A priest named Father Miguel Hidalgo rallied many natives and others to fight Spanish rule. This was the beginning of the Mexican War of Independence. Are you ready for the next box?
Yes.
Bring it on down.
What it is this sand? Dirt.
I think that's mud.
Very, it's like a gross mud.
These jars are clues about the kind of land that our state had.
It's messy.
Our state's land is diverse. There are mountains, basins, cliffs in the Great Plains, rolling hills and fertile soils in the Central Plains, and coastal plains on the Gulf of Mexico. It is the second largest U.S. state by area and population, measuring at 268,597 square miles. So don't guess yet. Incoming!
There's something in that one. If we pop it with a maraca. Oh, perfect. Friendship.
Friendship, that's sweet.
I think that's a part of a motto. That is a motto.
Our state's motto has been friendship since 1930. And some say it's because of how the Spanish pronounced the local Native American tribes' words for friends. All right, it's time for your first guess.
I think Alaska, that's the biggest state. No,
Yeah.
it could be Texas.
It could be. Go ahead, Bethel. Bring down the next box.
It's tiny. A little building.
A llama?
Yeah.
It looks kind of like the White House. Have you ever seen a Spanish mission?
Maybe.
That building is called the Alamo. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Remember the Alamo was once a rally cry to fight for our state's independence from Mexico. Built in the 1700s, the Alamo was originally Mission San Antonio de Valero, where Spanish settlers taught Christianity to Native Americans.
Oh, wow.
In 1836,
Look at that. Spanish
our state
settlers
declared
taught
independence from
Christianity
Mexico,
to Native
and the Alamo
Americans.
was the site of a
Them
famous
Spaniards
13-day
have been
battle
doing
that
some
ended in
bogus
Mexican
stuff.
victory.
That's why you don't cry when
That
Trump has
battle
an
kicked
issue
off
with that.
events that eventually
Don't
led
cry.
our
All
state
them
to
native,
win freedom
all them
from Mexico.
Spaniards,
All right, feeling
woo!
Yeah. Let's bring down that
You know
next
how
box.
the Germans had to apologize for doing that? Them Spaniards never apologize for the way they torture people.
And rope.
And Spaniards just slid to the side and
Very
just
good. Who
acted
uses a
like
lasso?
they were normal people.
Cowboys. That's right. You can't think of our
The
state without
Spaniards.
boots, lassos, and rodeos.
Ugh. Texas. They don't steal
American
Texas.
cowboys in our state date back to when herding and driving cattle were
American
part of settling
cowboys.
land in the Southwest. Who taught cowboys their skills? Well,
Hey.
Spanish vaqueros, of course.
Spanish.
They worked the land long before our state was part of the Union. Today, a major city in our state has bragging rights for hosting the largest livestock exhibition and rodeo in the world. Yeehaw!
Yeehaw.
Three, two, one, incoming.
This one's got something. 1845 and 1870.
What do you think those are?
Years
Of what?
when it was founded?
Good job, but there's two dates there.
What? Huh?
Our state became a state twice. Our state was an independent nation before becoming part of the Union in 1845. During America's Civil War in 1861, it seceded or separated from the United States and became part of the Confederate States of America. In 1870, it was readmitted to the Union. It is time
Texas
now to
really
make your
tried.
second guess.
Nice
Take a
try,
look at the
Texas.
clues.
What about the goat?
They're like, who do you think you are? Get your little butt back here, Texas.
It's from
So they tried their hardest now by holding their little flag. We have to remain racist. Meh.
You're pretty sure about Texas, huh?
I'm pretty sure Texas is
All right,
one
you're
of the
gonna
most
find out in the
diverse
next round.
states in the United States. How can you be so racist? Man, haters gonna hate.
Wait, what? Is this? Wait, why motor oil? Wait, what? Is this like oil or something?
I thought motor oil was black.
It's only black when it's dirty? Yeah.
Racist. There you see, they have to throw that little racist in there.
In 1901, the Spindletop oil discovery near the town of Beaumont
Those
launched
little
the
racist
modern
kids.
petroleum industry. The Gusher
I can
blew
tell them a
about
thing or two about them.
100,000 barrels of
They would
oil
not be
per
happy, and
day
their mothers
for
would not be
several
happy
days.
either.
This
I could
was
tell them a
big,
thing or two about
just
them and
like
their
most
mothers,
everything else in our state.
and see how they
Our
like
state
them.
leads the
Oh
US
yeah,
in
you're
oil and
crying now.
gas,
Yeah,
with
talk
key
to your mother.
pipelines that transport
Talk
oil
to your
to
mother,
power
little
different parts
little
of the
racist
United
girl.
States. Let's bring
Yeah,
down the next
take her
box.
mother out and beat her in front of her. Say, you like you racist little girl? Beat the mother in front of you. Beat her, beat her, beat her. How you like them apples, huh?
With bones.
Yeah, I bet you that little girl will never be racist anymore.
Oh.
When she sees her mom getting her
Do you
little
like
butt
barbecue
whooped.
ribs?
Yeah.
They're fresh.
Did you just slaughter a
Mama
cow or
didn't teach you how to fight, she only taught you how to talk.
You can't
Yeah.
visit our state
Welcome
without
to my
enjoying
world,
brisket
little
or
racist
ribs.
girl. In my world, we don't
As of
touch little girls, but we
2021,
beat
our
their
state
mothers.
had about 13 million head of cattle. Big business in beef.
Lord
which
have mercy.
explains why barbecue is so popular here. And each region of our state.
I'm done watching these people
From
be.
Virginia Beach Jail, Beale gave interviews to multiple media outlets. 13 News Now, the Virginian pilot. He talked to detectives for nearly 2 hours. Feet propped up, relaxed, sometimes yelling and cursing, sometimes calm. And he confessed to everything, in detail, on camera.
Most of the time, when people see something happen like this, the person that do it don't ever get to tell their side of the story.
His side of the story. Let me show you what that sounded like.
I just seen some shit, so I'm like, nah, you done or whatever. So I made a mistake with me. What happened to
Oh!
Xavier?
Tout famille, famille manger. Let's go.
Yeah, Xavier.
God, dude.
She did it. She is. What happened?
Gardez. Jean famille ou vle manger. Oh,
What you doing?
mba kite res la pou famille,
At
ah,
the end of the day,
Bam pran
so like,
sa. Apre sa, ok, ou vle manger nan famille. Pran pou famille ou tou. Pran pou petit ou. Pran tout moun. Pran pou tout moun. Pa mouri nan famille. E pa mwen men. Pi ay. Jepete, pa pou mwen. Tèt kase, pa pou li. Non. E mwen te di ou, kounya, an ale. Ti famille nan salade da. Nan salade la. Ya, mbap manje salade la tou nan. Di gen krem fromaj an dan, mba manje fromaj. Mba manje let. Mba bret let.
She goes to the first moment, like breaking down, crying and shit. Crying her mom, calling her I get money and I ain't have to work. I was getting money whatever I was doing. But it's crazy you don't respect somebody relationship. We have been good for almost 2 years. Like y'all jump in a relationship, y'all don't know what shit I'm taking over here. Y'all not even nowhere by. Y'all nowhere near us. Like y'all all the way out in this Suffolk, Chesapeake. Of course, I'm over the areas. Why are y'all trying to orchestrate my relationship? And she's happy with it. So now that you speaking to her, you calling her crying on the phone, you got her up and down and shit. And my life already hectic. I was living with a sex charge. I didn't even commit. I took a polygraph for this shit. And I took a polygraph for this shit. And they found out I ain't even do this shit. And I'm still wearing this shit. Probation officer can't even go in court and let shit go. So since I came home in what? 2018, I've been wearing a sex charge for some shit I ain't do. This whole time. I can't even do half the shit I want to do. I lose 2 jobs behind probation.
Oh my God.
And then when they find out that I really ain't
He's
doing shit,
angry
then they still talk to me and
because
shit
he
like I
went
don't
to
know
jail.
a sex offender that did this.
And
Oh, we
he's
can't help you. But y'all
being
can't help me
accused of
really
being a
till
sex offender.
because I took a
And
plea.
so he went out and he
Then they
took
say
a
I
killing
did it.
spree just because
When
he
I was
couldn't get
11
over the
years
fact
old,
that he spent
charge, a
time in
sex
jail for
charge at
being a
11
pervert.
years old. So I got found guilty of a charge that I would have got found guilty of at 11 years old at 26. And they did not one time look into that shit. So now I'm trying to live my life after doing 6 years from robbing and all that other shit. Now I'm trying to get my life in order, so I lost 2 jobs behind probation. Then they now when they come to the crib,
Man,
I
this
get cooked.
guy.
Just a couple of days ago, they told me they can come in the house and check and see how I'm doing. I've been good. Yeah, I've been good. I ain't been up. I could have been like raised hell, but I've been good. I ain't starting problems with nobody. But don't nobody want to hear me. Don't nobody
It's
want to
the
speak up on my
excuses.
behalf. Don't nobody want to tell them that, hey, this girl lied on me and I'm wearing the sex charges and shit I ain't do. Know what I mean? Ain't nobody even trying to clear shit up with the family. So when the family trying to come forward and be like, we got you, they ain't never have my motherfucker back. My mom was there. My brother tried to come through, but he couldn't how to do what he wanted to do. Why? Because his brother lied on me and said I did some shit.
If I
And I
was the
heard when I
detective,
was like 10 or
I would have been like,
11.
okay, stop.
So I don't
I've
want to
heard
live my
enough. I
life with
get
a
it.
sex charge. I just live my life
I
in the
understand.
penitentiary. I was in there 3 years, in the jail 3 years. I was gone 6 years. I come home, I'm wearing a motherfucking sex charge for I ain't do. That's enough shit to make me want to kill a whole bunch of shit. How you like living with some shit you ain't do?
Now he's.
And then they
Then
put me
you
on
shut up
the
and you move
polygraph,
on.
and the polygraph
He's
let them
acting
never
like
had
he
to do
never
this.
told a lie in like high school
But
or
I'm
middle
still getting
school.
carried like that. Now y'all want to come in the house. I've been on probation for 4 years. They ain't coming at me not one time. And I ain't never been at that motherfucking house. Which one was that? That Glory? Nah, at 701. I ain't never stayed at that one time. But ain't one time they said they want to come in. Now y'all treat me like I'm a motherfucker that did this shit. Now I'm gonna do some shit. Now I'm gonna do some shit. Now I'm gonna get all the guns and now I'm gonna kill everything. Why? Because ain't nobody trying to hear me.
You can tell
But they hear me now. They
how
start
weak he
killing
is
shit.
because
They
he
hear
didn't
me
kill
now.
himself.
It's crazy.
Oh,
Family when
oop,
they get
ill
on the
himself.
news and talk about, oh, we wish you could afford
He
it.
literally
They
went
never
on
let me
a
the job. Y'all put the
ailing
life my fucking
spree
name. To live a real
and
life.
didn't
To start my motherfucking
plan for
business.
his as
Don't nobody
well.
want to hear
That's
me now.
annoying.
They want to keep quiet. Don't say shit.
All
Don't
that
let a
rah
grown
rah.
female goddamn lie on me and
Oh,
let me live with some shit for the rest of my
Soleil,
life.
joder,
So
woman.
if I was a good family and then like family was trying to ride for me anyway, in your family. Yeah, it wasn't like they were trying to ride for me anyway. If I'm gonna live with some, I'm gonna live some shit that I know I did, some shit that I know I got no face. And however it go, at least I know I can say I did that shit. I said do shit like what? Since goddamn I've been home for 4 years.
Fifth Third Bank keeps your money safe with
Oh,
fraud monitoring and threat blocking.
This is banking. Fifth Third Banner.
oh, my stomach is full.
Up to 70% off at Love Honey means I got everything we wanted. Shop Love Honey's Black Friday sale with up to 70% off now at lovehoney.com.
So the issues between you and your girl, that was more of her family getting involved? Man, it was good, man. It was good. Her family kept trying to get involved in our relationship, man. But they would never check on her or come over the house. They never would check over and come in the house, but then try to orchestrate her over the phone. Call me and see her face. So even after
Why
she
is my
ran
phone
ass on
ringing?
Tuesday, her body been
I
laying there
don't
since
like that.
Tuesday. I've been riding around all past everything since Tuesday. I've been out this riding with dead bodies laying down since Tuesday. Since Tuesday, man. Her people pull up to the house. Y'all know, y'all text her phone. I got her fucking phone. But what happened when y'all text her? Y'all ain't even gonna come in and check. Y'all ain't gonna come in and check on her. She laid in there dead. The house don't even know fire yet. But
Ugh.
because y'all come, because her mom came up and out like she didn't want to come in, I ain't gonna go tell you. What's that about? You said mom came up where? Her mom came up to the house while she was in there dead. But because you wanna talk so much and how like you can say so much, you still ain't wanna go in and check on your own daughter. Whole time you orchestrated her to like basically tell me like, yo, I'm about to get you a new job, or you about to start a new job. Well, you should get you somebody that got a job. I'm about to start a business. Or what I do, I got talent. I had whatever I was doing good with my production. So you came to the
My
house.
production. That's
Whole
why
time she dead
it
on
didn't
the other
want to
side of
come
the
out
door. But
because
you
you
don't find
lying.
out why? Because you just want to see what's going on. But her car ain't there. Why? Because I moved her fucking car. Set the fire. That's why. But
He's
you
super
didn't come in
pretty.
the house, but you want to do all this talking. You want to do all this texting. You want to figure out what's going on. You texting me,
Ugh.
motherfucker.
He's
I don't
acting
want to
like
do that.
he's
That's why
so
when
tough.
you text her, you get a different response. It ain't seem right. Why the
All
fuck you
that
come to
rah
the
rah.
crib, but you ain't come in? Because you ain't give a fuck about her.
Ugh.
If you did, if you would have checked on your loved one, you'd know she was dead on Tuesday or Wednesday when you came. Her body was laying there. Y'all ain't seen until I let that fire. Like straight up. What made you decide to do the fire? I feel nobody gonna come for him. Everybody wanna act like they wanna come for him. Ain't nobody ever come. So if you ain't gonna check on your loved one but try to orchestrate their relationship for what your standards is, was I don't go about, then see that shit go up in flames then. And then wish you would have walked through that door. Like I said, walked through that door, it would have been no flames, it would have been no more bodies. But because she didn't walk through that door, that's what the happened. You set the fire to the car. I did. I did all this. I did all this by myself, bro. I could have did more. I was just like, I'm just gonna keep moving. I'm just gonna enjoy my last days. You know what I mean? I'm like, you man. What happened to Clifton? Well, I need to get everything right anyway. And then he was some shit, like he wanna be there, like you wanna be there in my life and shit. But at the end of the day, like I come home, you tell me how much I fucked up. I ain't trying to hear that. I just did 6 years. But then you act like you want to help me. You act like you want to help me. But when it comes time to help me, you just pitch. You just pitch little shit. You just pitch little shit. You're not giving to me. Like you might give me $100 here. Okay, I'm 26 just come on. Okay, so now I'm dealing with all this shit. Now I'm staying with him. And I'm making sure I was in my mom's spot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm making sure I go to my mom's spot because not too long after I came home, she get carjacked and robbed. So now I gotta make sure I'm at her house to make sure she good. I got 2 jobs. I'm working at Bonefish and some other shit. So now I'm working at Bonefish. So when she got carjacked and robbed, I try to be there for my mom. The job fired me because they don't want me to be there for my mom. They don't think I'm telling the truth. I said the shit on the news. They don't believe me. In the same area? Yeah. So I had to check on her and him. So they didn't believe me, so they fired me. They fired me from a job because I was trying to check on my mom because she got carjacked and robbed to the point where she couldn't even go back to work no more. So they didn't even believe me. So me trying to do good, every time I try to do good, something fucked up kept coming in front of me. Every time. When was Clifton shot?
This is pretty cool. Whoa, look, the official chicken of the SEC. What's that stand for? Sports fans eat chicken?
Great question. No, it stands for Southeastern Conference.
These tours are so informative. Sanderson Farms, official chicken of the SEC.
Need a moment just for you? At Ollie, we get it. That's why we made these new vitamin-infused body washes that aren't just about
Not gonna lie,
skin.
I'm definitely gonna use the sewing
Clinically
machine.
proven skincare, scientifically
Oh,
developed
my
to protect your skin
chest
barrier, and meets
to
intense
finish this
fragrances
because
proven to shift your vibe. We can't clear your
the
to-do list, but we
patience.
can make this moment yours. Care for your skin, for your mood, for all of you.
Mm. Come on. What? What happened to my show? I'm sitting here like, where is it? Am I in La La Land? Yes, I am. She's living in Babylon, Babylon. What happened? Hmm. Let's watch this, the Tesla case that's happening right now.
The busy season is here, but I've learned small habits are the key to staying motivated. For me, that means writing in my journal before the day gets crazy. Habit helps me stay grounded and focused even when life feels overwhelming. Your time is
She's
valuable. You
living
could
in
finish your degree
Hollywood.
faster and for less with eligible transfer credits at University of Phoenix. Check out their transfer credit app for a free preliminary evaluation of your transfer credits. Getting back into routine isn't easy, but prioritizing what really matters makes all the difference. If education is one of your goals, University of Phoenix gives you the flexibility to make it happen while life
Woo, we
keeps moving.
are
This video is
75%
sponsored
of
by
the way
University of
there.
Phoenix.
I'm so proud of myself. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yeah, yeah.
There is major new reporting in the David case right now. Allegations of a new second suspect and macabre details of how the body of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was allegedly disposed of that will just make you sick. And
Oh,
again, this is the girl whose body was found in a car reportedly registered to the singer. If this is all true, it raises a whole new set of questions about what we can expect next. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. By the way, before we get more into this, just gotta say something real quick. Have you ever left a meeting and thought to yourself, what did we just talk about for the last 30 minutes, hour? I have been there a lot of times, not ashamed to say it, but that can be a thing of the past with this. Claude Notebook, okay? This tiny AI-powered device, it's more than just a recorder. It's like a
sheesh.
hands-free AI secretary that you can carry
It's
with you
like
every day. So whether
lamer
it's
and
meetings,
lamer and
interviews,
lamer. Get
brainstorms, the
lamer
notebook,
and
it
lamer
doesn't just
and
catch
lamer.
everything. It also identifies key points. It expands into summaries and
You
it
don't have
delivers
to
all sorts of
remember now.
action items
Don't
to
have to
keep your
use your
team in
brain
line. And the
anymore.
best part is
A
asking
pen
Claude,
will
because
do
instead of
it.
going through all these hours of
Everyone who
meeting notes,
promotes
you can ask
this
it to
should
hunt
get
for answers like,
sued.
hey, Claude, what hot trials do we talk about covering next year? And Claude will pull up that conversation. So if you're over messy notes, it's time to try Claude Notepin. Right now, you
Over
get
messy
20% off
notes, you're
with code
supposed to start keep
SIDEBAR20. Just click the
writing.
link below or scan the
Computers are
QR
the
code.
coolest things ever, okay?
Major
To
update in the
type.
Celeste Rivas Hernandez
Typewriter is
death
the coolest
investigation.
thing.
So this comes after we reported last week how TMZ claims that they spoke with the LAPD and they allegedly said that an arrest is not imminent in this case. And it was also reported that singer David is being considered a suspect suspect. There's been a little bit of back and forth on whether this is strictly a death investigation or officially a homicide investigation. The LAPD hasn't labeled this a homicide investigation per se. And of course, this comes as this 14-year-old girl
There are
was
like maybe
found in
some
the trunk of
otters
a
out
car
there.
allegedly registered to David back on September 8th out in LA. But the back and forth on this has been really, really confusing because the LAPD had come out at one point and said they weren't sure if there was a crime beyond concealment of the body, and we were all waiting for the official LA County Medical Examiner's results and toxicology reports to come in. To be clear, there have been no arrests in connection with Celeste's death. But now let's talk about what just happened. According to TMZ, sources close to the investigation tell them that Celeste's body was frozen, that it had actually been thawed out, that she had been decapitated, that her limbs had been severed and cut into pieces. Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I have to say this, okay? I'm sorry I'm mentioning this, but this is the reporting. I hope it's not true. And I will add this, though. If it is true, the ME potentially can't determine a cause of death. Again, this is all according to TMZ. And actually, talking the ME, KTLA reported that Celeste's case number is 2025-14252. And when searching that number on the ME's page online, it had listed the cause of death as deferred pending additional tests. However, now, according to KTLA, that has changed on Friday. When you plug in that case number, all the fields are now empty. So KTLA has speculated whether that means a determination has been made in this case or whether there has been a security measure been put in place upon official release to the public. And sources apparently telling TMZ, though, that the cause and manner of death could ultimately be listed as undetermined. Now, if that's true, it raises a ton of questions, and it may explain some of the confusing elements of this case. And look, it should also be noted that TMZ is reporting that in the rental property in the Hollywood Hills,
TMZ
which
is
was
reporting
near
this?
where that Tesla was parked on Bluebird Avenue, seemingly abandoned before it was towed away to the tow yard and Celeste's body was found inside. In that rental property where David had apparently been staying, TMZ claims that if you look at photos from inside that house from a few years ago, there is a large KitchenAid refrigerator freezer. And they go into the dimensions and whether it's possible a mutilated body could fit in there. By the way, a search warrant was executed on that property and reportedly items were seized. But to be clear, this is all speculative, okay? This is all speculative. We're trying to put in the dots here. And you have to wonder if this reporting is true. That body was found in a hot car, right? It was reported that that Tesla had been there for weeks, even having been ticketed. So where was the body stored? When was it transferred? And I also have to mention this. TMZ had previously reported, and now is really talking about this, that police may be looking into an alleged trip that David had made to a remote area of Santa Barbara County in the middle of the night months ago in the spring. Spent a couple hours there, apparently. This is a new allegation. TMZ's Harvey Levin saying on his Two Angry Men podcast that he believes, quote, that Santa Barbara trip is the key to this case. Now, a police source told People magazine that while LAPD haven't been able to pinpoint exactly when Celeste died, quote, springtime is the closest we've come to determining the time of her death, not before then. Again, this is unidentified source, no independent verification of that, particularly from the LAPD.
Oh,
Before I go any further, before I go
my
into the
chest.
next development, let me just say this real quick. Whether this is true or not about what happened to Celeste, this must be incredibly painful for Celeste's family to even hear this theory, to hear this reporting. And I don't want that to get lost in all of this. Yes, there's a large community who is following and invested in what happened to this girl. And while we can speculate and theorize and try to provide more information to law enforcement, let's never forget we are talking about the loss of such a young life under very disturbing circumstances. But that now leads into this second piece of major news that we need to get into as well. TMZ is now reporting that there is a second person who may be considered a suspect in this investigation, someone who allegedly may have helped in the disposal of Celeste's body. In fact, acclaimed criminal defense attorney Mark Garagos said on his Two Angry Men podcast with Harvey Levin, he claimed that he knew the identity of this person, that authorities told him this person may have been involved, quote, before, during, and after Celeste's death. And Garagos claimed that it was a combination of cell phone data and electronic data from the Tesla, location data from social media, that all leads to this second potential suspect, with Garagos saying he thinks this all means that this person, quote, connected to one of the last times that car was moved. And when we spoke to Steve Fisher, the private investigator, who was hired by the person that owns the rental property that David had lived at, he says He saw video of someone driving that Tesla and provided that information to law enforcement. I say all that now to bring in Mike King, retired police commander, host of Profiling Evil, author of Wolves in Sheep's Clothing. Thank you so much for coming on. First time you and I had a chance to talk about this case. This is a big development. Talk to me about what you make of this reporting that Celeste's body may have been dismembered, decapitated, and frozen, because those are very specific actions that are not so easy to do.
Well, Jesse, great to be with you. And I think there are a couple of things that maybe might help put this into buckets that will make a lot more sense for those who are listening to us today. And that is breaking the, for lack of a better word right now, crime scenes or the event locations down into three kinds of locations. First being that initial contact site where David and Celeste may have come in contact with each other. Was there grooming involved? What led up to that relationship happening? And we're seeing reports going back even as much as April of 2024 of Celeste being reported missing. So when we think about the victimology or who she is, was she ungovernable at some degree? It sounded like she was a really good kid that was really working hard, and she came from a really strong family. We may learn different things that point different directions, and that's not victim blaming. It's just talking about kind of the storyline behind the victim. But we had that initial contact site where these two come together in space and time and somehow become an item and start seeing each other. And there are reports that they were seeing each other, that she was regularly coming over to David's house there in Hollywood Hills. But then we've got wherever this event happened, whether it was an overdose, a suicide, an accident, or she died by natural causes from some goofy event that happened with her body. We don't know the answer there. We're learning more, and we will continue to learn more, but that becomes the place where this happened, or maybe where she was murdered. That's the crime scene. And then we've got things that make really good sense to me. It's horrible to talk about, but you talk about the decapitation and the disorganization that appears to be going on in this crime, and all of a sudden it makes sense that we're hearing now that there are frost burns and freezer burns, things that would indicate that that body not only had been dismembered, but that had been frozen. And if it's that refrigerator freezer in the house or a freezer in the garage or some other place, it makes sense if they were so
You're playing the song
disorganized
that
in
I
either trying to
love.
hide her body or hide a crime that they may try to dismember her and freeze her there.
Let me get into that. And just so everyone's clear, the LAPD hasn't confirmed what exactly the relationship between Celeste and David was. There have been unconfirmed reports that the two were in a relationship. There's alleged images and video of them together. Again, we can't say with certainty. But going to the freezer, if you have a body that's recovered in the tow yard that's in a state of thawing, how long did the body have to be frozen for? And I'm sorry to talk in such cavalier, it's just we have to be clinical about this. How long was the body frozen for, and how long could it be out of the freezer if it's still in a state of thawing? Now, I don't even know when the body would have been put in the car, right, for this to happen, but can a body be frozen in such a state that even if you take it out into the heat, into a trunk, it can still be in a state of thawing for quite some time? I mean, do you know that?
Yeah, I'm troubled by that as well, and I wonder if it's some inaccurate reporting or some assumptions that are being made, and then we're kind of dogpiling on the reporting. What seems to be more scientific is that there is evidence that the flesh was freezer burned, that there were marks, and we all understand what that looks like. And again, we've got to keep in mind, this vehicle, if I remember right, was recovered, towed off of the street on September 3rd. She very minutes before that or hours before was placed in a frozen state inside of the vehicle. Unless she was somehow preserved in there with ice and other kinds of things, I don't know how she could remain frozen for the 5 days that she sits in the sun baking under a tin roof of a Tesla.
Oh, gade tout for me, yo tap manje, manje, mwen. Manje, manje, for me, manje, manje,
I don't
mwen.
know,
Gade tout for me,
anything that
yo.
would remain
And they're red ants
for that long without
too.
some
They're so
kind of
cute.
ice pack or other things to keep it in that
So
condition.
cute.
But can the body be in such a state that they don't know what happened to her. You heard me talk the back and forth about the ME. The results apparently haven't come in. There are those who are wondering, okay, well, maybe a security measure is being put
Here
in
it
place.
is.
Maybe they're trying to prepare the public before they
Hi.
release this information.
And then
Or
this one is
is it going to
going
be
to have a
undetermined?
blue
Can the
one.
body be in such a
Boom.
state that they do
So
not
let's see.
know if this is a homicide? They do not know if
If you love wine and appreciate a good accessory, you're gonna get a kick out of this. These are the Wine Enthusiast wine bags. They're insulated, fit a whole bottle of wine, and just look
Oh,
more stylish than your
yes.
typical wine bag. Personally, I like to match them with my outfit. They're practical, cute, and would make such a great holiday gift. So check them out.
Okay. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. I have to do something about that. Oh.
this is something else. Is that a possibility?
So I think there are a couple of things to consider here. Again, is whether we're premature on what we're trying to theorize on. But what's very clear to me is that during the autopsy and all of the testing that will be done, they're going to be able to determine some things that might lead toward homicide. Broken hyoids, you think back to the old days of looking at just those kinds of criminal cases. Or there may be some toxicology that comes back that says, hey, this individual has a drug introduced that is not consistent with self-introduction of drugs or other things. So maybe they will find a way to say there are toxicology or physical abnormalities that suggest that this individual was suffocated or strangled or had bones broken, the things that are consistent. And they're going to be able to tell the difference between post-mortem and before death, whether those injuries occurred. And all of those could point toward things like a homicide case. They may find that there are drugs in her system, and those drugs would be self-administered drugs, or maybe
Okay.
it was an
I'm going to go
accident
live
that
on TikTok
occurred.
now.
So all of
Thank
that,
you.
I think, is going to come out
Appreciate
in the
you.
course of the investigation. But bottom line is it possible that they could walk away from this thing saying, we don't know how she died because of the state of decomposition?